Yo, yo, yo. What's going on? Listen, man, I wasn't going to be lying in bed and just witnessing this madness that's happening in the charts right now. Fuck that. Not going to be doing that. Sorry. Forgive me, YouTube. It's not my thing. I can't be sitting here, lying here, doing what I'm doing and witnessing this chaos in the charts. Alright? So, let's keep this pretty simple, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Let's roll out with the flavor. I haven't shared this anywhere else, so if you do decide to share it, mad love and respect for doing so. But this is one of those unannounced streams where we have to have a conversation about what is going on. Alright? So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay then, let me just fix this up right now. What is going on here? Alright, are we good? Are we good? Is everyone in the room? Are we well? I need to kill this music, man. As much as those beats are fire, we need to have a conversation, guys. Okay, then. Quick, fast. Straight over to the book map. Okay, in front of you. Right now, you can see we've got sweeps. These are sweeps in the chart. And this is where they're coming down, hitting stops. People going long. And they're sweeping up the stops. Taking out the liquidations. Moving back up. Okay? Principally, these are like stop hunts in the book map. All right. Remember, these are limit orders being placed in the book map itself. But I need to go over to the actual chart in a second. But firstly, we need to understand something. Wait for that. Let's flip that over. I'm going to be killing book map in a second. I just need to wait for this to flip over and update. As it stands in the nominal range itself, the book map is imbalanced to limit buys. Okay. So here we go. Check this out. Come on, man. I ain't got time for this. Let's roll out a little bit more. Let's roll out. Okay. Notice starting to fade, but they're moving up closer and closer. Okay. Remember what we said. There's still 600 Bitcoin at the 30k range. Now listen to me very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. This move is not one of your normal moves. Okay. It's no different to this bad boy down here with these fast plays to the downside. Okay. Now I'm going to say it again. We want Bitcoin to move to the upside. Okay. We have been waiting for this W formation. Now, my preference to a W formation may be different. I'm going to say it one more time. My preference to a W formation may be different to someone else's. You see, the understanding of the hybrid system, I'm here to help you guys understand the nature of the business. How you apply that information is down to the concept of accountability. We have been waiting for this pattern to play out. And we knew this with the build-up of all of the liquidation points for the shorts. Okay? Even if we go all the way back to this area here, back when we were at 33, okay? The first leg of the W formation. I'm going to say this to you. A W formation is only invalidated, okay, when it breaks below the first leg. You've heard me say this many a times. The first leg of the W, when that breaks down, will be an invalid W formation. Okay? This principally looks like a W because we draw it out to be. But there's not that much consolidation. Okay? Start again. This, not that much of a W because there's not that much consolidation. They're not coming down to trap more traders short. Okay? All the while, whilst we're waiting for this certain W formation to play out, and we are expecting them at some point to drop price back down so that they can then reverse back up. Okay? If they don't do it and they keep price above, now we've got this situation where price is up here. We've got a bit of a variable W formation. Okay? Now, this move is fast. It is very, very fast, in my opinion. All they've done is come back to this range. in the chart. Now, the reason why I keep saying be patient, wait, be patient, because if you're looking for a quick fix in trading, get out. Because you're just going to hand your money to the poor souls who have been liquidated in this zone. Now we have got some interesting liquidation points in the chart. We've made it clear that the market maker at some point was going to come back towards these shorts, which is why we were waiting for the narrative of this W formation to play out. Again, the W does not fail if it doesn't break below this area. Okay? W's, M's, they are variable. This is, in essence, an FTD play, but in reverse. Okay? I was waiting for more movement to the downside. But guess what? I'm waiting for the pattern to complete. So now we are in this situation. Earlier on in the stream, we said if they can break above the 800 EMA and move further, then if this move is going to continue higher, we want the retrace back down to test the 800. All right? But ladies and gentlemen, the sheer fact that the move has happened, mind saying to him, hello to my friend Ali. Ali, what's good? Yo, guys, let's show some love to my guy's friend Ali. Everybody spam the chat with the name Ali. Show some love to Ali, guys. Thank you very much. The further Bitcoin moves away from this zone, on the assumption that they're making the run to the upside, okay, the higher the chance that the 50 EMA is going to turn up and the 200 EMA is going to edge upwards and the 800 EMA is going to start this curvature and then hopefully move up like so. Don't make the mistake of thinking Bitcoin can only go up. You know? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Mad love and respect for that. Mad love. Now, because we've broken the 800 EMA, which is the 4-hour 200 EMA, okay, this is where, in essence, the level 1 zone is going to play out. This is what we're waiting for. Because if this pattern right here is going to continue higher, we would naturally anticipate a level 1 retrace. But the problem that we've got is this move has happened very fast. So we have to be cautious about how long their retrace is going to go. I'm going to say this to you. Remember, excuse me, the pattern or the level can go all the way down to here and it would still be a valid peak formation. Why? Because they haven't broken the first leg where they moved away from. Remember that, which is why we tend to sometimes see Bitcoin do this. They'll go up, come back down, go up again, come straight back down and try and move away. Again, look at this W. We anticipated that this was a W formation. Okay? Price comes down, moves all the way back up, retrace, back up, keeps going up and down, makes a nice big bold move to the upside to the 800 EMA and then sharply comes all the way back down. All right? It's only when the first leg breaks. That's when a W is invalid. You're never going to get a static W formation. Okay? There are many instances in this chart. Now, it's all down to you guys to understand the hybrid system and apply it. If you want signals, go and pay for them elsewhere. I'm here to try and get you to understand the system. Please forgive me. Okay? Now, this move is coming in with speed. It's fast. It's at the weekend. It's madness. All right? Looking at the high block itself, we can see clearly that they have just eaten all those longs. So if it's okay for them to come and eat the longs liquidation at the downside, so if it's good for them to eat the liquidation points for the longs, it's good for them to eat the liquidation points for the shorts. We've been waiting for this from Sunday night. We were waiting to establish if the W formation was going to form correctly. Were we going to see that much more retrace to trap more shorts and add to the shorts? Please go and watch the previous streams from Sunday till now so you can understand the narrative. But the thing is this. The amount of shorts that were present in this range, It's nowhere near to what the amount of shorts are right now in terms of liquidation points for longs. There's $22 billion worth of liquidation points in longs. Now, remember when we were saying that usually the market maker has this habit of turning when it hits roughly around anything between $13 to $15 billion worth of liquidation points in either direction. This is what I've come to understand about the high block. Those seem to be the points where the market maker tends to reverse. Now we're at 22 billion. Okay. Now, how much of these longs are they going to absorb? That's the question. You see, they absorbed some of the shorts right here, but then they pulled it back down, added more shorts, and then moved back up. That's what we're looking at. You know? So, great question. So what's the conclusion? For my short-term day traders, we understand what's going on with this area here. Remember, if they're not coming back to the vectors now, they're going to come back to them sooner or later. They didn't spend that much time here. We've had what? A few days before they came back up. Okay? And this was in essence towards the start of the week. So last Sunday. So it's taken them a week to come back up to this area. What we want to see is we want to see them retrace back down, hit these zones, and then move back. Because that would confirm that this move favors higher prices. So they've hit the shorts liquidations. They're going to come back down to hit the long liquidations and start the same process over and over again. So the higher that we move up, okay, the retraces will tell us more, which is why we are expecting from this level here, forget that, hold on, take you back to the cycles. Once the W formation forms, this area is what we want to see, the movement of the market. 1, 2, 3 hits out, move away from the peak of the W formation if this is the story. But the move is very fast. They haven't come down to recover the vector candles. They're not giving me a reason to believe that they will continue from this point and gain serious ground. The only way they can confirm that is if they pull back slightly, test key moving averages, which in this instance on the 4 hour is going to be the 200 EMA. And ideally over this weekend, if they do decide to do that, price will hold. And then on Sunday, when Asia comes into play fully and the market's open again with no bank holidays or anything like that, then we will know. We will know if this move was just a simple trap before they try and drop price one more time, and then they would finalize the W formation and we would get our second leg. Okay? Now, I know some people have been wrecked, and it's not good to see people getting wrecked. You shouldn't be getting wrecked. You should use the smallest amount of money to test the basis of the hybrid before you become to a point where you are proficient in the strategy. Because I'd be wasting your time and I'd be wasting my time. Do you understand? This is the hardest, easiest way to make money, guys. We can't always assume that it's going to be exactly the way we want it to be. The narrative was present. We knew that they were coming up towards these shorts at some point. We expected them at some point to move out of the zone to take the money that they've been giving away to the retail trader who's been going short and not paying himself. Now we've got a lot of liquidation points for the longs. And the fact is that it's quite scary at the fact that if people are going long now, shorts are probably still being opened. And that's what's quite scary. Look, these are positions that are still being opened. Look at these red dots. People are still going short. Okay? And you're always going to get liquidation points. Look at the chaos in this area. It's madness. Look at all these. These are all 100x traders. These guys right here. 100x. All right? At the highest point, 19 million. So there's not that many buyers coming in now. 15 million. 12 million. Nothing much is happening. We're the moon boys by principle. Now all of a sudden, we've got quite a few shorts coming into play. But there's still liquidation points present. Okay? Now I did say, if they can move away from the 800 EMA on the 1 hour time frame, all right? and come back down and hold it, happy days. How long before we can hit 45k? How long before we hit 45? I don't really roll with price, okay? I will never say to you how long it's going to take, but I'll tell you what you would need to see. If Bitcoin's going to see 45,000, because remember, guys, for Bitcoin to even move away from this zone, this area right here needs to be broken because we are only where we were last week. So we haven't really got any new information. We are in the same place of sentiment where traders were last week. This zone right here, Bitcoin was going to 20k because that was the narrative across the board. Now we're coming up close towards it. We're on our way to 100. I'm saying the same thing over and over. But guys, you are seeing the same thing happening over and over again. We come to a moving average. We're going to bounce off it. Stopping volume, retrace, continuation to the upside. Yes, it is being one of those things where it's repetitive. All right. But the market maker understands that people will feel one of two ways. They'll feel greedy. They'll feel fearful. And they will exploit that. And that is present every single day in the charts. Your understanding of the system is going to be reflected in your trading. If you think that the W formation right here wasn't going to need lower price action, then take the trade. Because you've got the basis of it. We were waiting for this move to happen. The confluences were, the shorts to the upside were getting too greedy. They were not taking their profits. And we've been saying this from the start of the week. That was the narrative for the development of this pattern. So for the first time, the bias was to see price complete the pattern and move higher. We completed the move higher. But the move higher has happened so fast. So in order for us to understand at what point are we going to start trending, okay, we would need to see confirmation of this 800 EMA. And that's where we are at right now. If Bitcoin still continues to keep moving up and up and up, it's a freak move. All right? They are out to get the liquidity and kill it. Because look, they've swallowed all of that. All right? And now they're about to gulp some of this bad boy right here. Look at all the money coming in. $23 billion worth of long liquidations in the zone between 35k and all the way up to 42 where they pinned it and pulled it back. Okay? That was no pump. That is crazy. That is crazy. You know? Do you know what, guys? I'm going to say this, right? And I'm not saying no one else does, because there are good people out there, but I really give a shit about everyone. Okay? I really do. Because you're using something that I've spent so long studying. All right? And the proof of the system every single day gets confirmed. People are making money. They are understanding it. People are just completely switching it up. Fair play to you all. I congratulate you all. All right? But the basis of the stream is to get you to do it for yourself. All right? Because what's the point? I can stop tomorrow. It's done. What happens then? Do you understand? I don't like people getting wrecked. I don't like people just losing their minds. Sitting in the Discord and I'm witnessing the chaos that's going off and I'm like, boy, I've got to get out and say something, man. I need to put things into perspective. There's no glory here, guys. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. Ultimately, what we understand is this is a business model. And in order for us to understand where price is likely to go next, we've got to stick to the way they do things. Because just because Steve, and let's have the jokes aside as well, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Just because we have a little bit of a laugh and a joke about Steve, Synthetic Tino and what have you, yeah, I get that. You know, it's all about, we've got to try and keep you entertained when you are, in essence, learning. Do you understand? if you're not hitting or understanding the hybrid system, that doesn't mean you don't get it. If you are new and you're passing through, there is a lot to pick up. There's over, 1,200 videos on YouTube, okay? I posted 1,600 times to my Patreon. I keep people in the loop. I establish many instances to help you come to the conviction about where you think it's going to go. Because I can make my life so much easier and put out 2 figures. And those 2 figures are buyer X, seller X. Done. No need to build a community. No need to speak to anyone. But this is what the trader's reality is about. Trading is a lonely business, and I'm going to tell you that now. And we've created this beautiful community of people. And I don't like to see people getting all fucked up on things. Now, I'm not going to say, how can I put it to you? I'm not going to say I told you so. But I tell you every day, you risk the smallest amount of money if you are learning this game. Don't fall into the trap of seeing other people that are using more money. That's their level of risk. I don't know your level of risk. There's 1,700 of you. Do you think I understand all your levels of risk? How many of you are day traders? How many of you are holders? That's why I jump between time frames and I'm giving you different narratives. My brain is operating synthetically, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am a robot. But I'm trying to get the concepts into your minds so that when you come away from streams, you're able to understand how they are rolling out. This is a manipulative, this is a rigged, it is a managed game. Again, why are they okay to hit the liquidation points for the longs to the downside and not okay to hit the shorts liquidations, which was the narrative that we started off with at the start of the week? Okay? All week we've been waiting for them to do something and move away to come back to the liquidity. When was the market maker going to pay himself? Because by everyone going short, market makers going long. He's just realized a fat pocket return, and at the same time, can you imagine how the market maker feels? He's just absorbed all of the short liquidations, roughly about $10 billion worth of short liquidations, yeah? He's just hit that and made 10 billion. He's looking in the far distance and he can now see there's $23 billion worth of longs. Happy days, okay? There is probably a lot of people that have committed to Bitcoin today. That discussion that I showed you earlier on by Mike Dutch, okay? He likes the idea. He focuses mainly on bigger cycles, all right? And he sent me something about the taxpayers have already received their tax refunds. I know there's a lot of tax refunds in the US. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the case, okay? Now look at the result of price. People have turned to crypto. They've had a bit of cash infusion. And you know what? I fancy dabbing my hands into cryptocurrency. And here is an example of it. Price moves up. YouTube goes crazy. The narrative is there. Price action today across the US equities as well. The investors themselves are pumped anyway. Look at the yields by the US Treasury bonds. When the yields are rising, it means the government is trying to advertise luxury, lucrative rates for traders to put their money or investors to put their money into government bonds. That's why it drops down. When traders are putting money into the bonds, it means they're scared. When the bonds are rising, it implies that traders are putting their money elsewhere. Look at gold. Gold hasn't done anything, bruv. It has stayed still. So that tells me that traders aren't rushing to safe havens. Okay? Dollar yen. Dollar yen actually pulling back down. Okay? Formed a nice big M formation. But here's the question. This is an M formation. All right? The first leg is higher than the second leg. But because the second leg hasn't got that little bit closer to the high of the first leg and not pulled back from that point, does that invalidate the M? No. And that's the same principle behind Bitcoin right here. Okay? To understand where Bitcoin's going to go next, ladies and gentlemen, we need the proof in this zone right here. The fact that we haven't come down and hit the vector candles and recovered them sooner, because what I would have wanted to see is the market maker move to the price to the upside, hit the liquidations for the shorts, come back down and take advantage of all the guys who went long and then reverse back up, because I won't be worried about this madness right here. Okay? Now we've got, in essence, 2 zones. Look at the 4-hour time frame. We've got this zone right here. We've got this zone right here. Coming into the start of next week, we may even see a little bit more movement to the upside. But look, they had all that liquidity up there and they haven't gone back towards it yet. Okay? They need to solidify in the traders' minds that Bitcoin now is going to continue higher. But they haven't brought it back down just yet. And all I'm saying to you guys is just have it in your mind. Whatever time frame you're trading off. If you're trading on the 1 minute time frame, you ain't got time to be worried about Bitcoin going to 80, 60, 90, whatever. Okay? You're more interested if Bitcoin can go from $41,500 all the way up to $41,600. Happy scalp, done. I'm finished. Okay? Happy days. $100 move for Bitcoin. Do that 20 times a day and see what the results are. Short-term day traders who start at the start of the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, and look to close their positions at the end of the day. That's me. I scalp and day trades. I will open in the morning, see what I can get in the first session. Happy days. Wait for the next session to open, trade from that. Wait for the session to close, take a trade from that. By the end of the session, I'm out. I'm done for the day. Because I ain't going to let profits that I've earned in the day get taken away from me by simply just holding. And it always comes back to me when I say, yeah, they won't come back to the green vectors now because I'm in a trade. Nah, bro, they will move back to these zones because these right here are imbalances. They are pushes out. They're designed to trap traders' liquidity. If they can trap them down here, they can trap them over here. All right? Please do not mistake my aggressive way of trying to put a point across. Okay, please, that's not the case here. I'm very passionate about what I do. I love the game of trading. I see someone that has lost money, it winds me up because they're using the system. Okay, that makes me think to myself, yo, why has that happened? But I have to give myself the benefit of the doubt here, guys. All right? Not everyone shares the same mindset. Not everyone has the same opinion of price. We could be trading in a big W formation right here, okay? And there are guys going short at every moment they reject a zone. Does that mean the pattern's invalidated? There are guys that are probably saying, okay, look, there's an M formation in here, Tino. What about the M formation here, bro? Oh, okay, well, what about the W formation here, bro? Do you understand? Patterns within patterns and cycles within cycles. The idea is you understand that there are cycles and patterns within, and you understand how the candlesticks work. So your goal as a trader is to come to the chart and exploit it. And we break that down in 3 words: pay to play. If you've got a conviction about where you think Bitcoin's going to go, you put the money down. If you're right, your confluence that you just come up with has solidified. Then try and replicate that same confluence. Okay? Man. Logan. Oh my goodness. Hyping FOMO for the weekend traders. Art of patience. Holding onto the rule of watch for retrace. Don't want repeatable mistakes. That's the truth. You know? No. How can I not be happy with Bitcoin going up, guys, when the narrative at the start of the week was we're waiting for a W formation to play out? It played out, man. It moved up. It just moved up sooner than expected. Come on. Where we at? Now we want proof of this move. If they can hold the 200, happy days, they will bounce down, take down the liquidity and start the process, add more longs at lower prices and then shift out. Okay? Because now they've trapped some short traders, because you can see right here, we've got a lot of shorts built in this zone. Okay? So are they going to try and shake out these guys, build more longs and move higher? You know? So what do we have to do? Okay, I mean, look, I don't know how many of you are new in here. Who's this? Jason, how you doing, bro? How you doing, my man? Thank you. You don't have to do that, man. But thank you. you know, stream all night long. Tino, is it possible that this big move is a peak of a W and we still have the next leg down? Well, here's something for you then. Part of the strategy, I predominantly, because I'm a short-term day trader, I'm looking for the patterns on the 1 hour time frame. That's the basis of what I do. Okay? I use the 1 hour time frame and then I jump down to the 15-minute time frame to effectively find trades from the start of the morning. Okay? So I look for patterns on the 15. But if I'm trading on the higher time frame, well, if I'm trading off the 1 hour, I will look at the patterns and the cycle on the hourly, and then I jump down to the 15-minute. I'm probably going to see a W formation on the 15-minute time frame. As you can see here, this little mini W formation right here, you jump down to the 15-minute time frame, you can see the beauty of it right there. So I then add confluence to confluence and understand and break down the pattern. How likely is it going to play out? If it can break away from this zone, okay, I want to see volatility. I've got the psychological low in the zone, retrace, okay? So that's the criteria on the 15-minute time frame. I go on the hourly and then I look and I can see, oh, there looks like a W. Let me dive deeper and try and do the same thing on the smaller time frame, which is the 15. That's my routine if I'm looking for day trades from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way through till 10 o'clock at night. And I don't care what my position is. I will close it because I've left it open many a times and lost a ton of money doing so. So whatever profit I've got and whatever the position is at the end of the day at 10 p.m, I'm out. Because I have no control of what's going to happen whilst my trade is live. I don't put no stops in. I'll only put a stop in, for example, if, for example, I went long from this zone right here, hypothetically, and then price is all the way where it is right now, I'll probably put a stop all the way up here to lock in the most amount of profit. Because I'm not about giving money away to the market maker. Why? Because it never passes in my mind that I'm going to lose out and I don't want to miss out on a bigger move. Okay? I pay myself, I get out, and then tomorrow, the next day, I will come to the charts and do the same thing again. Try and catch the moves. Okay? We've been waiting for this bigger pattern to play out. Let's go on to higher time frames and look at the patterns there. Let's put things into perspective. Okay? How many of you would agree? Does that look like a W formation? Would you be content with that as a W formation? Yeah? You probably would. All right? Now, the problem that we've got is this, ladies and gentlemen. This big move to the upside, okay? It hasn't taken really any ground that we haven't been familiar with. It hasn't done anything for us to believe that they're going to break out to the upside to try and get into what we understand to be a bullish move. This is a shakeout. All right? I'm sorry. It's a shakeout. When you look at it on the daily, now, if price had broken above the 50 EMA, that would be a promising sign, which is why now we are waiting for the test. Is the test of the 800 EMA going to prove that they do want to come up higher and that the move on the daily time frame itself, okay, is the attempt for them to come away from the zone and try and move price back up towards the next zone of liquidity? Because we do have this wick in the chart, ladies and gentlemen. All right? And we know a story about wicks, don't we? But isn't it typical that they come all the way up to this point right here, slightly above the vector candle right here, and recover the red vector and bounce away? What was the stalling of that about? Have they absorbed the liquidity now? Now, the weekend may just see price coming down a bit and then coming back up. It might stabilize. Monday, Sunday night, we will know where we stand. Yeah? Man. It is the wild, wild west, man. It is crazy. All right? It is crazy. Why not head and shoulder? Listen, head and shoulders, okay, are simply a W formation. It's the same story. So, first, the left shoulder, the head, for example. Well, it's actually, this is an inverted one, okay? But that would be principally where the head is. For God's sake, man. There we go. And that would be the variation of a W formation. Look at the M pattern as well. M formation, right there. Simply a variation of the head and shoulder. Oh, my days, bro. Like, it's my first time using TradingView or something. Variation of a M formation, like so. Okay? So if you're in a situation where you feel like you've missed out on a move, well, you would have been in a trade in the first place if you knew it was going to go there. We just don't know, ladies and gentlemen. That's the point. We have to work with probabilities. Anyone that tells you that guaranteed it's going to do this, it's going to do this, and 100% with conviction and say that it's going to end up at this point, well, they need to do that. I mean, look, there's probably people out there that do it, but I'm going to be a little bit more cautious because we know what the game is like. Again, if they're all good to take the liquidation points from the longs this time, they're bound to take the shorts. And now this time, there's a lot more money in the chart for them to take. Okay? That's the narrative right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is the narrative right there. You know? I do trade. I try and get scalps in. Okay? Just before, I might do like a masterclass between 8 o'clock in the morning and 11. I'm trying to get some scalps in. Just catch the UK session open, the Brinks box in the UK session. That's when I'm going to be scalping. I do the same in dollar yen. I got a few swing trades in dollar yen because I'm waiting for certain movements on dollar yen as well. All right. But, you know, if I see a potential play, I'll take it whilst I'm on the live stream. All right. But I get too engrossed into the charts. But I know that they're going to come back to a zone, go to another zone. So I know that the market will be there tomorrow. I never feel like there's anything that I've missed out on because I know the business is going to move in the direction of the money. And all you need to do is just try and train your eyes to be observant of the movement towards that zone and as it develops. Okay? Here's that hindsight madness again. Check this out. Milad, thank you, man. You don't have to do that, man. Thank you. From a hybrid perspective, okay? I hate talking in hindsight, all right? But I stream enough, okay? And we've drawn off previous points in the chart which they have where they were and then where it's gone to. You've seen it many a times, okay? But this is what I want to show to you guys and then I'll let you guys be, all right? So, if you were trading off the hybrid on the lower time frame, say you had the 15-minute time frame up, and you were looking at this pattern formation right here, you'd be saying to yourself, okay, so what's the narrative? Okay, you look on the higher time frames and you say to yourself, well, we are in what appears to be a big W formation. So the bigger the pattern, the bigger the move away from it. Okay? Now, if you look here, the peak down here is lower than what this one is. So they push price down lower, but they didn't break down this range. Now, I wanted more movement to the downside on the basis that this was going to be a deeper consolidation. Were they ready to move price higher? But we had acknowledgement to the fact that there were still shorts not being taken. Shorts had not been taken for a very long time, ladies and gentlemen, and it was all longs getting eaten up. When were the shorts going to pay the price? Because everyone was making a killing on Bitcoin dropping to the downside, and market maker was giving them that opportunity to pay themselves. Okay? That's why we saw these spikes to the upside over here. Now, as a day trader, you would have come to the chart with the understanding of trying to find M's and W's. You see the deviation away from the 50 EMA, volatility is coming to the chart, so you anticipate movement back to the 50 EMA. If you were to place an entry long in this area here, okay, you would say to yourself, all right, where's my stop? Well, my stop is at the breach of the W formation, which is right here. The first leg of the W formation. If price comes all the way back down to this point right here and bounces away, that's still deemed as a valid pattern. You just got yourself a third hit. So more confirmation of movement to the upside. Okay? As price moves up, you would naturally be waiting for a cyclical play, which is the pattern. Rise up, retrace. Okay? At this point, you may even take profits and add to the position. You can see they've come back up towards the psychological low. So then you're saying to yourself, okay then, what are the chances of them actually completing this pattern and moving up? Look left. You see the vector candles. So there's previous liquidations and liquidity in this area where the market maker had gone long at the lowest possible point. Okay? He induced traders to go short. He's now got an opportunity to exploit those zones. So then you would in essence try and go long in this area. Price managed to stay above the 50 EMA with the red vector candle. It didn't break lower, and the next candle confirmed the move to the upside because it instantly recovered the vector candle. In other words, they didn't move away from this zone, because they didn't want to build more longs. They wanted to release them. Okay? And then here we are. We have this move to the upside. You would use the 800 EMA as your profit target. And you would say to yourself, whatever happens after that, I'm not interested. I've made a stack of money. I was correct on this move. And that to me is better currency. It's better to know that you caught the right move based on your analysis, or rather than understanding that you made yourself 10 grand. Okay? Because you now know that all you've got to do is try and find similar confluences to come into play again so that you can exploit in the future. You're saying to me you're never going to see a W formation again. Of course you will. Here's a variation of a W right here. Look, the basis of the pattern itself is rise, drop to the downside, up, retrace, and then move out. It's the second leg that reveals it for you. The deeper the leg, the more manipulation, the faster the move away from the range. This is all they needed to do. And then they shifted out. You know? I wasn't expecting such a fast move. You know? I wasn't expecting such a crazy move today. This was a mad move by Bitcoin. Very fast move. Do you understand? The range daily low for today's session was here. Sorry, the range daily high was over here. That was the range daily high for today's session. Okay? Normally, when they hit the range daily high, they're always looking to pull it back. Go back in the streams, go back in the charts. You will see it for yourselves. Okay? But this time, they just completely exploded out of the way. Why? They had the reason to. Because the shorts liquidations were there, present for them. Okay? They needed to get into that zone. And look at all these people. All these red dots are the people who are in existing shorts getting liquidated and opening more and more shorts because they are in denial. Okay? That Bitcoin is going to come back down again. All right? And that's where the market maker trapped the traders and they just push price up and up and up. Now we've got a cluster up here. There is some more liquidity up here. Okay? But the beef of the move is now in this area here. And this is what we're waiting for next, ladies and gentlemen. If the 200 EMA can hold, then naturally we will want to see them retest it. If they spend a lot of time up here, the moving averages will start to join together. What you don't want is you don't want the moving average to move to price. You ideally want price to move to the moving averages so that if the intention is to keep moving higher, they will bounce from that 50 EMA. Yeah? It's Michael Saylor's birthday. You know? Tino, this happened in such speed because there is a new market maker in the block. Tiger Global entered the game yesterday. Tiger Global? Who's Tiger Global? Who is Tiger Global? What is Tiger Global? Let's have a look. Tiger Global is an investment firm focused on public and private companies in the internet software consumer. Okay. Are you market makers? Oh. We've got to log in. Okay. Launched, okay. Since private equity. Okay then, so fair enough. So they're looking to accumulate Bitcoin. Fair enough. Okay then, cool. Bitcoin 2D time frame. The TDI bands was so tight. Is that a nice confluence? 2 days. I've got the 3-day chart. All right, let's have a look at the 3-day chart and I'll let you guys be. I mean, boy, that's crazy, isn't it? 2-day chart comes straight back up to the red vector candle. You know? And they haven't taken out the liquidity. Look, tapping 42. That's disgusting. The weekly time frame. Yeah? What does this mean? This was the narrative for the pattern in this area, that we expected them to come back up because they started to slow down on going long. That's what this candle means. When you see this candle appearing as price is dropping, it means volume is starting to rise, but in the sense that it could imply that it's starting to slow down, because in the direction that it's going, you're expecting it to turn into a red vector. So you're expecting more volume to come in to keep it pushed down. But because they started to slow it down, okay, it's an indication that things were likely to turn. You know? What have we got? I heard Steve brought Bitcoin. You mean you don't want to go all night? Do you know what, guys? It's one of those streams, isn't it? Is it one of those streams where we actually just sit back and break down price? I mean, it's 1 a.m. in the morning, UK time. 47 minutes ago, I was in bed. Mike Dutch wanted me to sort something out. I was like, bro, I'm tired, man. I'm shattered. And I'm lying in bed. People losing their minds in the Discord. I'm like, I can't have my people like that. Nah, I'm not having it. No way. You know? Not happening. Not happening at all. But there's just so much to understand about it, guys. Like, the hybrid system is the tools of the trade. If you are a mechanic, you've got a toolbox. When someone brings you their car, they're going to say, I've got a problem. And you'll say, what is it? I can hear this clicking noise below the engine. Yeah, cheers, bro. Well, what's the first tool you're going to pull up? Well, you're going to pull up a tool, i.e. a torch. Okay? Our eyes are the torch. We are viewing. As you start viewing with your torch, you are starting to witness certain things in the car that is trained to your eye to understand. You're coming to the charts and you're witnessing things that are trained to your eye to understand. Not every car is made the same way, but principally a mechanic is going to understand a way round to fix the problem. Not every pattern is going to form and play out the way you expect it to. But if you've got the narrative in your mind, we are at a level 3 cycle. We expect them to move back up. The liquidity was there for them to take. All we have to do is then try and establish our entry point. We can't be blind with bias. Okay? If I'm waiting for the W formation to show a little bit more traction to the downside, okay, that's because experience shows me that the deeper the corrective move to the downside on this W implies that we're going to see true confirmation of this pattern. It happened sooner than expected, ladies and gentlemen. Does that invalidate the W? No, because we were expecting them to move up at some point. Now that's down to you and your level of risk. When do you decide to enter? That's the test. When do you put the mullah? Yeah? That's what I'm trying to get you to become. I'm trying to give you all these tools so that you can make the decision in confidence. And then repeat that decision over and over again. Whether you earn $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, 10 million, whatever. You're executing the same practice. Okay? Let's just have a look at some altcoins because I know you guys are on the altcoin gang. Here we go. Gala, back up 20%. Okay. See 3 hits with Gala. All right. We have got 1, 2, 3. Okay. The idea of the story of 3, there's a video in the channel called The Principle of 3. Okay? And the idea is that once you understand, if you see a vector candle like so appearing at the lowest part of the chart after you've seen a drop to the downside, that could be an indication that they're getting ready to shift out and they do things in 3s. Why has it stopped? Okay? They come down here and retraced and continued out because they still had the cyclical move. They wanted to build some more longs at lower prices because they knew they were going to move higher. All right? You had the liquidity to the left. Continuation up. Even if you missed out the opportunity to go long from this zone, you could have gone long in this zone because price was what? Above the 50 and the 200 EMA. Price was what? It confirmed the test of the 200 EMA. Price was what? Above the 5 and the 13 EMA at this point. Price did what? It moved. Because there's only so many confluences that you can pull together. And it's at what point do you decide that you're going to apply that confluence in the chart? Are you just going to take price if it trades away from the psychological low? Go long there. If you need to wait for a rise, retrace, continuation, You're going to wait for the retrace and go long once the 200 EMA confirms. Bang. You know what? I'm finding that the altcoins actually trade so much better than Bitcoin. Because when we want to see a retrace by Bitcoin, it does it with one candle and then it goes back up. All right? Whereas altcoins themselves, they tend to just respect the levels, man. They do it. Look, test of the 200 EMA. Done. It's out. M2 pivot confirms M4 projection. Look at where it's stalling. At the M4. Mana. 3. We projected Mana this week towards $3 and she hit it. Go back in the streams. Projected $3 for Mana. Theta, nice. Sand, coming up. See, it's mad, isn't it? Bitcoin moves up. Altcoins move up. Where's the dominance going to come into play? Yeah? Because everyone's been short on everything. So the liquidity has been present. Yeah? Ethereum, let's go back to Ethereum a second. Ether trading like, look, Ether is stalling at the 800. Big time. Big stall. Okay? See, look, man, she does beautifully. Now we're waiting for the retrace. Give us some retrace, Ethereum. Come back down into the range so we know that this move is not no mad move and that you're going to suck out all the longs again. If your beef with price is to move higher, you will retrace and continue. Okay? And you'll repeat this same process again because this is like an impulse. It's an impulse in price to come away from the range. Yeah? ICP. Let's have a look. ICP. We looked at ICP not so long ago. Let's have a look here. All right, cool. ICP, $22. Moving out slowly. Okay. Waiting for the retrace. I'm only adding safety to your trading. Ahmed, how you doing, my brother? How you doing, my man? Yeah, I hold coins as well. Of course I hold coins. You know? Tina, do you look for a perfect W on the 1 hour, then drop down to the 15.51 and try to get the perfect entry? There's no perfect pattern, okay? Patterns are variable. Variation on the theme, okay? Now, variation on the theme implies what do you need to see for price? Or should I say, what do you need to see to solidify your reason to go in? Because no one can ever achieve the perfect entry. Look for accurate entries. Perfect is just wild. You're putting too much pressure on yourself. Yeah? Let me look at Luna a second. Luna behaving, moving up above the 200 EMA. Happy days. 5 and 13 EMA above the 1 hour time frame. Trading above the psychological high, but we still got tomorrow, guys. Solana back up to 111. That's good news. Now we've got this pattern right here. That's crazy, isn't it? Now we've got this big M formation in the chart. All right? Look at the liquidity in the zones. There's liquidity there, liquidity here. There's liquidity down here too. Okay? If this pattern's going to play out, as long as it doesn't break above this area here, the M formation is valid. If it breaks out from this zone, pattern is not valid. Next pattern. Okay? So then we then say to ourselves, okay, then this pattern is invalidated. What am I looking for next? If I've got the principle of 3, then that means 1, 2, 3 hits up. I'm waiting for a retrace. This is on the assumption that they break out from here. So principally, we could get another vector candle in this area. Okay? They retrace from this zone. They come back up. They hit the key moving average up here. And then we will know if there's going to be a pattern up here. As it stands, it looks like there's an M formation that is forming. Collate your confluences. Those of you who have been trading Solana and understand Solana a little bit more. What's she like at the levels? Does she respect levels? What liquidity is available for them to take? That's up here. Okay? The M2 pivot is very close. You want to see a test back down to that zone and move away. If they decide to move away sooner and come down to the 13, for example, and bounce away from that point, happy days. Is that enough for you to take a trade? No one's going to walk your hand. Sorry. No one's going to walk you through a trade. You're the only person that can do that. Walk your hand, bruv, man. What am I chatting? I think that is my cue, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. What should be an amount to put in a position? How much are you prepared to lose? Okay. How much? That's the question. What are you comfortable trading with? Yeah? What are you comfortable risking? Because I'm not comfortable losing money at all. But you have to take a risk. That's the truth. And that's what this game is. It's not free, you know. The game isn't free. If it was free, there would be no one talking about it. Because everyone would just be focusing on ripping it. Okay? Just trade carefully, guys. Give yourselves a chance to understand how the game works. Watch the previous streams. Watch and understand how we do the befores and the afters in the morning stream and then the evening stream. To understand the conversation. Yeah? Handwalkers, you know. And you're on it. Do the patterns work on Bitcoin dominance? Well, look at it like this, right? Let's check this out. Do the patterns work on Bitcoin dominance? Well, they work on USDT dominance. They work everywhere. Okay? Because look. Look at USDT dominance there. Look at that. People have run their money and taken it out of USDT and they've just pumped it into Bitcoin. What have they done? They've just come back down to the previous vector zones. Okay? And now they're working this range right here. All right? Bitcoin dominance. There it is. Coming back up. Hit the vector points back to the psychological ranges. Adam Roberts. Quick message for any doubters. When I started watching T, I was skeptical, but after 6 months of trade, I can say certainty that some aspects of what Tina says. Thank you, Adam. But I really want people to understand that this is the most tricky game on earth, man, but you're in the most liquid industry. All right? Trading is a massive industry. It's crazy, but it's massive. All right? And it tests you, man. It tests you non-stop. And it's all about you understanding yourself when it comes to committing liquidity. That's why you've got to try and be systematical and objective. All right? Guys, mad love for every one of you passing through to tonight. Okay? Be sure, just like the stream. Just like the stream, guys. And I will see you all on Sunday. Back to the game, you know? I'll look at XRP quickly. XRP, same as Bitcoin. We're waiting now for the read. Look at that. Look at these moving averages, man. What can it come back down and test? It's a crazy move. What are they going to test? Guys, sleep well. Trade well. Join the Discord. I love you all. Peace.